Well, good morning, cyber friends. This is Mitty Man again, coming at you from Walker's Music with yet another word for today. Wednesday morning edition. We thank God for you. We thank God for life, health, and strength. All of you cyber friends, you know who you are. I just come before you this morning to say that I got a particular message I want to give this morning to all of my contacts and friends and those that follow me on YouTube and whatever else I'm on. I got a lot of stuff that I'm not really dealing with right now, and I can only employ so many things at one time. But nevertheless, we try to do the best we can. But nevertheless, I want to say something this morning that really have been the Lord put it on my heart this morning early. I thought about it, and I decided I would go and address this issue. How many of you in your day-to-day walk, those of you born again and blood bought, and you had to sit down and talk to certain people and hear them speak of the church, and they speak of the body of Christ in a sense of which some of them they are speaking as an organization as a whole, of this church here different from that church over there. This is mainly what they are talking about, but I view it in another sense, and I hope that I got somebody to help me out on this. The church people. Now, what I'm saying is, we got a lot of people that speak about the church, and they speak so bad about the church, about what the church is not like it used to be, and it's not doing this, and people are hypocrites, and it's just full of hypocrites, and just all of the negative stuff. And I sit and I listen to it, and God knows I got to admit sometimes I have thought to go along with some of the comments that they were making based on personal experience and everything. But this is one thing that I thought about. No, we cannot think that way about the blood-bought church of Jesus Christ. Let me tell y'all something. Jesus said the church is his bride. And Jesus said one thing. You remember when when he asked Peter about who, well, he didn't only ask Peter, he asked his disciples, period, who that men said that he was. And then after they gave all the kind of answers and stuff, then he asked them another question. He brought it closer to home. He said, well, who do you say that I am? Well, we know Peter, under the inspiration of God, spoke. Immediately he jumped up and said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And that impressed Jesus. Jesus said, Peter, blessed are you. He said, for flesh and blood didn't not tell you who I was. This came from my Father only. And he said, upon this rock I will build my church. Listen at what Jesus said. He didn't say he was building it on Peter. He said, upon that rock. In other words, he was saying upon that revelation knowledge that Peter got from God, or who Jesus was, that's what he was going to build his church on. It was that revelation knowledge. In other words, every blood-bought child of God, we know who Jesus is. Now, I want to ask you something. And I'm going to ask y'all to join with old Mitty Man. This is not about being perfect, because we'll never be that. Jesus was the only perfect one. But join me, man. I have made it a decision that when I hear people speaking so bad about the church and what they are not doing, I have made a decision that I was going to document everything that people are saying about the church of Jesus Christ, about what we are not doing and where we falling so short. And God knows a lot of times we are falling short in certain areas. People, we know that. But I say, let us get back the reputation of the church. Now, what I mean, I'm gonna cause for some work, but that's all right. Where they said that people of the church don't care, let's me and you care. Amen. Come on now, think about it. What I'm saying. Where you hear people say the church don't care, let's me and you care. Amen. Where they say the church do not want to help anybody, let's me and you help. See, in other words, I try to tell people it's very dangerous to put everybody in a category. Everybody ain't doing nothing. That's what most people say. Yeah, all of them ain't about nothing. No, 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 no. That's a bad thing to say because everybody's not everybody. You speak for yourself. So what I'm asking all of middleman buddies and contacts and whatnot, whatever, if you even if you've seen one of my videos, I'm asking you, whatever you have heard them say about the blood-bought Church of Jesus Christ, about how much we are falling short of doing this and that, let us fill in the gap and do it. That way they can't say what the church is not doing. If you see one doing it, you cannot say that the church is not doing it because remember, we are the church. We, not the building, we are the church. We are the ones that have the revelation of who Jesus is. That's what he said he was going to build his church by. So in other words, if you got the revelation knowledge of who Jesus is, you part of the church. Let us get together. And wherever, you know, I ask you to get you a pen and pencil. And you document. Every time you hear somebody saying something negative about the church, because we are part of the church. We are of the church. We are part of that blood-bought Church of Jesus Christ. And we want it to have a good reputation. Because guess what? We are the bride of Christ. This is whom Jesus is coming back for. A spotless church. So let me tell you something. We can't let a few disrupt the whole thing. So wherever we see, you start at your own church. You start at your own home church and then let it spread abroad. Whatever we see lacking, let us make up the difference. In other words, where we are not seeing love in a certain category, let us try to put that love there. Whatever is missing from the church today, let's me and you, middleman and all the rest of us that say that we are of the blood-bought Church of Jesus Christ, whatever we see missing, let us see can we replace it and get the reputation of the church back in stride again. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Because I know I hear this negative comments about the church every day. And look, people, this is Jesus' church. So if we care, and if we say that we love the Lord and we love Jesus, we should care about what the people think about the church. You know, the people, the church, I do believe that the church is going to be instrumental in this last day. We got to shine. That light that sits on the hill. That's supposed to be the church of the blood-bought Church of Jesus Christ. So what I mean, wherever we see the church, wherever we see lacking, let us make up the difference. So won't anybody come to your particular church and then let it spread abroad now. Tell your buddies and tell your friends and your neighbors all over the country. Let us start being the church that Jesus bought, the blood bought. What I mean, it's going to call for sacrifice. Because, see, I can't no longer just live for myself. Now, I got to do what I think to help others. Let us lift up others better than ourselves. Let us esteem others better than ourselves. In other words, let's do what Jesus said do. Lift up his name. So, therefore, when someone comes to your particular church, no matter how they look or how they smell, you got to embrace them. Give them, show them the way, give them what they need. It ain't no sense about praying for the people and they're hungry. Feed them first and then pray for them later. That's what we got to do. This is all middleman asking. I know people going to call middleman, you are crazy. Well, I guess I'm crazy because that's what came to me. Let us replace that, all that stuff that they say the church is not doing. Let's me and you replace it. Let us put it there. If they say that our church lack love, let's me and you start loving in that particular church. They are not going to be able to say that they came to your church and then get some love from you. Let it start with you. You can't help what other folks do. And God knows it really hurts us when the church, you got the church right now, and we got some of them that they are doing things that are not according to God's plan. It's not Christ-like at all. We got I even just heard the other day that some of the churches were going along with this here mess that's going against Israel. How can you be a part of the blood-bought Church of Jesus Christ and then go against Israel? Oh, that's an oxymoron. Think about it. I don't see how you can do it. How can you say you belong to Christ, but yet you do all these the undesirable things, I just call them like that, to the nation of Israel and his people? It doesn't compute. It doesn't compute. So let's take it from old middleman. I just thought about this. This came to me very hard this morning. I was thinking about, how the church has lost the respect of the community. The church, because of the fact that we got some people in our church, we done mixed up everything. But y'all, I want to tell you something. And that go for me too. If we are misrepresenting Christ, we are doing more damage than we can imagine. We cannot say we love Christ, and yet we treat people different. We treat people in a kind of way. We can't do that, people. And this is, I think, what's really destroying the image of the church. It's because of the fact that we got so many tares in the church. I just spoke this Sunday at my first Sunday church. We got a lot of weeds mixed up with the wheat. This is what's hurting the reputation of the church. It's not real Christians that are doing this. It's those imitation Christians that saying they are Christians but are not. Those are the ones that are hurting the reputation of the church, people. Because real Christians, those that are truly sold out for Christ, that doesn't mean that they don't do anything wrong. No, I'm not saying that. But those that really have a heart for Christ, they've been born again. They really want to do what's right. But in the light of everything, we make mistakes too. But our heart is in the right place. Those are the true Christians. The one that will try to help you when they can. Do what they can. Even so, sometimes they will sacrifice their own self to help you. Remember that. Before, the next time you start that beating down the whole church, don't do it, people. Because remember, there are weeds in the church too. There are wheat in the church, but there are weeds. Jesus told us that in the parable of the wheat and tare. So don't blame the whole church because of a few weeds. Look for the wheat. Look for the good in all things. That's what I try to do. And it ain't easy. It ain't easy. But look for the good. I mean, I'm a keyboard player, people. I'm a keyboard player. That's my passion back there, the keyboard. And I don't even do it like I ought to sometimes. But just remember, we are living in a dark world. We're living in a cursed world. And sometimes we are not going to feel like doing the right thing. I know a lot of times many men do not feel like doing the right thing. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I know it's the best thing to do. Why? Because the love of Christ compels me. When I do you wrong, I got to come back and ask you forgive me. I got to. If I done some wrong. And know it, I got to come back. This is the key, people. Let us stop sitting around with other people as they talk bad about Jesus' church. And let us try to make up the difference and bring the blood-bought church back to the status that it once was. The church used to have a lot of respect and a lot of pull. And I'll admit we have lost a lot of that in these here latter days. But we can still get it back. And I believe a revival is coming. I do believe a revival is coming. And I'm praying and hoping that this nation have a change of heart. Because y'all, I'm going to tell you straight truth. I keep saying this. Those that'll keep messing with Israel about that land, that's God's land, and he's not going to have it divided. And I'm just going to pray that our nation and our government understand and wake up and smell the coffee and leave that land alone. Don't be a part. I don't care what country take part in it. We should not take part in it. And I'm praying. And I want y'all to pray with me, man, on this subject matter. Pray that our nation's government will not get involved with the separation and the dividing of God's land over in Israel. God is not going to take it, people. You better read Zechariah. God is not going to take it. This is Middyman saying until the next video, next Bible study, whichever come first, peace. And remember, let us lift up the church, not bring it down. Jesus died for the church, people. Prayed for with his precious blood. And we should not stand for anyone to talk down on the church. If you blood-bought Christian, you're not going to do it. Let us stand in the gap and be that light as Jesus told us to be. Peace. Goodbye.